It's not a time to be a bystander in your life and to watch things move around you. It's a time that we've got to step forward and carve out what we need right now. That's going to be really, really important as we move
Yeah.
forward.
Now I'm always like, if you need to get yourself into a bit of a routine, or you want to get yourself into a routine of checking in, set an alarm to buzz every hour just to make sure you stop within that time and go, where am I? How am I? What do I need? The actual comfort of sitting and really listening and tuning into ourselves and what we need and how we feel at any given time is that's almost become alien to us now, but back in the day it would never have been.
Well, this is the thing I think on the planet at the moment. We've got the energy, what's going on. I think it's the collective energy of everything. People's minds, what's emotionally going on in their heads, what they're fearful of. If you look at the world, how it's but one of the topics that keeps coming up, I have a lot of students, a lot of clients that are very open to the universe and are learning about energy and spirits and everything else. And to do the work, you've also got to be very grounded. And I was saying this to Helen, wasn't I, Helen, that they need to be a little
Mhm.
bit grounded. And we were talking about the information that our body holds, and we're talking about the emotion that it holds. I was saying to Helen not so long ago that I've started doing Pilates. Who am I, honestly? Because after 2 years of sitting on your bottom, you need to do some Pilates, Anne. I got that message from my guides. Anyway,
Can we just share the pie and lattes though?
no, you do that, Helen. You do that for me.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt Anne just to say that when she said she was doing Pilates the other day, I was looking for a gift to send, and one came up that said, "Are you doing Pilates or is it pie and lattes?" So now she's doing pie and lattes. I'm like, oh, I see.
I'm trying to be very good, and Helen's supposed to be my friend, but look at her, honestly. Um, but yeah, she's right. Anyway, I do try. But the biggest thing I discovered doing Pilates was Pilates. No, I'm doing it now, dyslexic person that I am, and I am actually dyslexic. The biggest thing that I found for me, it was a big, big shock, was that my first session. I pushed myself. It's one of those reform benches that slide backwards and forwards. It reminds me of those rowing machines. I don't know how my brain works. I did my first session and I came back here. I sat in my office and I couldn't stop crying. It wasn't out of the pain. Believe me, there was uncomfortability, but I couldn't stop crying. And I contacted you, didn't I, Helen? And I said, I just
Mm.
don't understand. There's so many tears coming up, so many emotions. And you were telling me about, we've done similar stuff, but I don't do the somatic work that you do. And we'll have a look at that in the moment, like the work that you do. But I was really shocked that through the work of moving my pelvis, moving my bottom and my legs, that it brought up so many emotions. My body had held on to a lot of emotions, which I some of it I had forgotten, and some of it I was like, I haven't got time to deal with this. And this is one of the things I was talking to you about. A lot of you are aware that I had a road traffic accident 20 something years ago now. And even from that accident, I was saying to you, Helen, that my pelvis was broken at the time, or fractured, and there was a lot of injuries that I incurred. But I never dealt with the actual issue of what was actually happening. So I had to hold on to everything, all the emotions, because of had a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, a very dysfunctional relationship, and I didn't have time to be ill, hobbling around and stuff. And I didn't realize I'd held on to the emotions, and then going back to my childhood of the emotions there, and a traumatic delivery of my daughter as well. And then we got into a conversation about, the body holds information. It's all there. So that's when I started talking to Helen. And I started talking about reincarnation and everything else and about the body holds emotions and stuff. But Helen, before I go off into one, like I always do, can you give us some information about what you do so that I then don't distract everybody and then go off into my weird and wacky world, which I'm going to do anyway. But while we are
Please
here,
do. Please do.
let's look at what you do.
Well, I do many things now. My work started in hypnotherapy, cognitive hypnotherapy, and learning lots about the power of the mind. And many familiar faces here that know what I'm talking about. And just fascinated by the stories that we create and we hold on to and on all of those. But then as my work developed, I just kept getting called more and more into the body. And we know that there's such a connection between the mind and body, right? And the mind's primary thing is to keep us safe, obviously. And then the body just is like storing what it needs to store. But all the wisdom is in the body. So it's really for me about kind of, I guess, integrating the two, but also I feel more and more called to work with the body and what is present with the body at any one time, more and more to as almost like a barometer for where we are daily, minute by minute, hour by hour. But as humans, we've become so detached almost from that way of living because everything is pushed at us from an outside perspective. So we're just walking around the whole time like, what's this telling me? What's this telling me? And yeah, to actually, it's almost become a thing now where I think the actual comfort of sitting and really listening and tuning into ourselves and what we need and how we feel at any given time is that's almost become alien to us now, but back in the day it would never have been. So yeah, my work now is really about inviting people back into presence with themselves, encouraging people into rest with their bodies, also recently trained in yoga, and yeah, just kind of working with what's present and what's here right now.
I love that. I love that because now I'm going to go weird and wacky.
Oh, I knew you would. I mean, I can't believe it's taken this long, to be fair.
I
Come on then,
held
hit
back.
me.
I held back, but no, no. I love the because we're always having conversations, you and I, and it was about you said, and I wrote it down because I have got ADHD as well. I've got it all coming. It's all
Let's see what's
good.
going to come out.
It's all good. You said something about conscious connection. That really hit me hard. Conscious connection. And I think that's really, really important what's happening on the planet right now. We're all getting really distracted right now.
Mhm,
There's a
mhm,
lot going on the planet, and the emotions around what we're hearing,
mhm,
the words we're hearing, the imagery we're seeing, everything around us is actually, it feels like an attack on the physical body and the energy as well. We're moving into the horse energy. I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen next? It's been a year, transformational year, where we're really shifting. I can't imagine anyone on the planet that hasn't gone through any shifts or changes, whether it's a job, money, relationship, you name it. And so we are really shifting, and it's shifting quite fast. I mean, it's going to gallop ahead. This year it
mhm.
really is, and as we're aware of it. So when you said in a conversation, you and I, we sometimes we voice note each other, and then we go off into one. We talk. Well, I go. I mean, you accompany me sometimes. I have. But that conscious connection, when you said that, I was like, this is so important to bring that awareness. I know, like when I'm teaching my students, when a lot of them want to open up, whether they want to do the psychic mediumship or they want to just bring in the practice of their natural gut feeling, their intuition, their psychic self in their work field. A lot of therapists who are training with me right now. But it's just so important to be aware of what is affecting us and where we carry it from and stuff. And as a past life practitioner, I know sometimes when I'm working with a client, if I'm doing a therapy session or whatever session that is, that their body isn't just holding on to what's in this lifetime, and that's
Right.
where we go weird and wacky. Um, so I know from when I've been communicating with some of my clients, and they're coming to me, that sometimes we've traveled down that avenue of looking at what's going on with them in their life today, those emotions where they're holding it and what's happening to themselves and the ailments they're creating.
Mm.
And also, some of that goes back to past lives where it's
Well,
an emotional imprint, like an echo of energy. Can you imagine that though, Helen?
can I just remind you of mine though? Sorry. I mean,
Yeah,
you and
yeah, yeah.
I
Go on, share.
well,
Just
no, I mean, you and I have worked on this. I mean, I don't think I've known you for that long, and I had my own experience of a past life memory, I guess, imprint, or whatever it was. And I remember saying and it was such a visceral experience in my body, and I had so much emotion running through my whole body. And then I gaslit myself. I was like, no, I'm not sure that can be real. Of course it can't be real. The mind comes in and the mind's telling you something else. And I remember saying to Anne, is this real? I don't know. And Anne said to me, you've had such a emotional response. You know, that's not like a daydream, I've just made this up in my head response. That is like a visceral response. And yeah, it took me, Anne helped me unpick it, but we had to unpick that. This was many, many, many years ago now, right? Probably 8 or 9 years ago. So yeah, but having had that experience myself, I know how the body literally holds on to these things. And of course, we don't realize until we actually work more and more with our body and get to understand our body, and then we know what is ours and what perhaps isn't ours, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. I remember, God, I can't believe it's that long time ago.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a long time.
Oh my God, I'm feeling older now. Time flies by.
You're
Time
welcome.
flies by. Thanks, best friend, buddy, and all that.
Sorry.
Soul sister. Anyway, coming back. But I remember that when I actually came down to where you were living and we were standing on the side, up on the promenade bit, and used your, I mean, my guides were coming in, and this is what happens, you see. My guides were coming in and they were saying that to get Helen to stand in this particular position and then turn her around like a compass point. It was
Mhm.
crazy. And there was one point you were looking out to see, and it was like, what are the emotions that have been brought up? There was, what was the feelings going on? And I didn't know anything about breath work or somatic stuff or anything to do that. I was just being guided, and but probably Einstein on the other side, but being
Probably.
guided by the other side to sort of say to me, now do this with her, get her to feel into the feelings and the emotions. And
Mm,
the reason we do this is because if I look at the reincarnation stuff that I do the work with the soul, it's because it's still holding on to it. Because as a soul, we are here in each lifetime to sort of live and learn and sort of shift what's ever happened to us. So again, sometimes it's not just this lifetime. We have those echo stamps of emotions that are held. I had this lifelong lung condition, and I'm still talking, and couldn't breathe. And they diagnosed me with having asthma. It wasn't asthma; it was scarring on the lungs, and
mm,
they couldn't work out why it was. And literally, Dr. Brian Wise, who author of Many Lives, Many Masters, it took me on stage, and I was doing a workshop in London, and that came up that through a past lifetime, and he didn't know anything about my lungs, that literally I was a chimney sweep. I'd been put up inside a chimney, and over the years, the dust and soot had gone to my chest, and it scarred it. Now this is another lifetime. Also
mm,
made sense about my partner as well in this lifetime, being a money miser. But there we are. Enough of that. So we can store energy, and until we let go of the energy, so from that lifetime coming into this lifetime, bringing my soul connection, that soul contract from my past partner to come in this lifetime, still to be as tight with money, but hey, and it's still controlling me. It took this lifetime for me to work through it in my soul lesson to know, look, it's something to break through, something to move through. So I just find it really interesting. And I've had clients, who can't conceive. I was writing on my newsletter recently, and it was literally because they had this individual client, and there's quite a few, that literally had been in a shipwreck and lost her daughter. And, at sea, she was holding her hand, and her hand fell through her hand. She was only 7. This is her daughter in the previous lifetime. And literally, through losing her, the heartache was so intense that she never wanted to have children again. Now, she didn't realize that in this lifetime, and came to me after doctors said, your body can conceive, but we don't understand why you're not. And it was literally chasing it back, and to realize that was the imprint, the emotional imprint that was left in the soul from then. So
mm.
in this lifetime, it's to work through. So, someone like yourself is brilliant in a way of working through stuff like that as well. I'm sending everyone to you now.
Well, and I think also, as I mean, by your own journey with the pie and lattes, it's the body holds on, and and until there's an element of safety, or until it feels ready or comfortable to release, right? We know everything in divine timing and what have you, and then you basically can unearth stuff that you've been holding on for years and years and years, but you can't force that. It's kind of building a conversation with yourself, almost like really getting to know your body intrinsically. And then yeah, as you delve into different practices, and if movement comes through into that, if somebody had said to you, hey Anne, go along to Pilates, and suddenly you'll be having a conversation with the junk drawer, otherwise known as your hips, and things are releasing and stuff's coming at you, you would have been like, but I just want to go and work out.
Yeah, it would
Right?
be the last thing I'd want to do is go to Pilates and know that then I'm going to be crying in my
Yeah.
office and don't know why I'm crying, and then sitting with it and then journaling on it and then going, oh, I remember the pain I went through the labor, and I remember that how I felt about maybe losing my baby at that time and everything else. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone Pilates. It wouldn't have sold it to me. I must tell you, wouldn't have
Yeah,
sold it.
right, exactly. But it wouldn't have happened the way it happened if you weren't ready to do all those things, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
it's that
no,
whole looking back, oh, now I can see why I had to do that. But yeah, it's
yeah.
it's not always safe to dig around in those areas when we don't feel ready.
No, and I must say, and give credit to you, and if anyone's going for anything, to find your best buddy, to find a friend who will hold that space for you, or a therapist, or whatever it is that you need at that particular time. When something's coming to the surface, it needs to be released. It's not then to hold on to it. And like as you rightfully said, is that, when these things happen, these guys nudge me on this side, sort of saying, "Go, Anne, you're gonna do Pilates," and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it, but I'll do it." And then when you're being nudged to do something, when you follow it, then there's a reason for it. So,
Mm.
knowing that, I felt safe for it to come up in my body, it was ideal that it came out at that particular time. But I just find it just amazing how the body holds the energy,
Mm.
how important it is as well that we try to sort of work through what comes up for us, because we can't move to the next step until we have moved through what is coming up for us. And that's the most important thing, all those emotions that we hold.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that doesn't have to be necessary, like I want to say, perceived as work. A lot of the time, it's just being in witness of what's present. And I think again, as humans, we do that thing where we're always trying to rush through everything all the time, right? So it's like, I one gets a little sniffle or a bit of a cold, and it's like, oh, I haven't got time to be ill. It's that energy. But actually, if you can surrender to that and be like, okay, this is what we're in right now, then things will pass through quicker than if we're like constricted and contracted around it all and trying to make it something that maybe it's not, and trying to file it in boxes doesn't want to go in, or gaslight ourselves into being like, no, I'm fine, when your whole body is screaming at you. It's just learning to have compassion for yourself and for what's coming through, and to really just listen if you can.
I think that's really important to state that, because I mean, in the UK right now, and there's other parts of it obviously, but when we've got grey winter, I can't bear it. I feel drained of energy. And what I have done is honor myself by sitting there with a journal, and I pull my cards every day, and I sort of, what card comes up today? And there was a card that came up the day, listen and cleanse. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. What more do you want me to do? And I'll sit there with it and I'll check in, working as a medium. It's like, it's really important for me to check in with my energy first anyway, before I start
Mm,
working with clients, because I've got to make sure that I'm not saying, oh, this person has a headache when it's my headache. So I need to clear that, move it to one side. Hence why we have gatekeepers. And then, I can work with that particular client that they might be holding on to something, or somebody on
mm,
the other side. But when you were talking the other day to me, we was having a conversation about, people in the embodying everything and that conscious connection. It's so important, because otherwise your soul is moving through this world. You're not really engaging with it, because as you said, like if you have a cold or whatever, it's like quick reach for whatever the medicine cabinet has most.
quick fix.
Yeah, it is. When really it might be your body communicating with you and saying, no, actually, you have to address something right now. Something's coming up, and you're
Mm.
trying to ignore it. So, when there's the ailments that's coming up, there is something that needs to be dealt with for sure. And it's grabbing our attention, when we're going through this change. The planet, we've gone through so much change recently, the year of the snake, my God, sloughing, getting rid of the old skin and the old part of who we used to be. Now we're moving into the new, and we sort of preparing ourselves. And that's why, bringing you on today, it's that preparation for what's to come, the challenges that we might face.
Well, I think as well, I mean, certainly in the work I'm doing at the moment, life only feels to be getting faster, and obviously more information coming at us all the time, and it's not always good. And it's taking the time in our day to, and this is just something I've always been super passionate about and have done for so many years, but just how you start your morning and how you start your day and just allowing yourself that time. A classic example is when you have a bad night's sleep. Some people wear the watches that tell them, and they get up and they're like, "Oh my God, I've only had 3 hours good sleep," and then it's almost like you're allowing that to set the tone for the rest of your day. But what if in that moment where you wake up and you know that you've had a crap night's sleep, you actually sit and you tune in and you find out how you're really feeling? And the likelihood is you'll get an answer that you're not expecting. But the mind is saying, but I've only had 3 hours sleep. How can I possibly feel good? But actually, your body might be saying, you know what, that's all we needed last night, and that's okay. And we'll catch up tonight. That's just an example of really listening to what the truth of you is versus, what your mind is telling you or what your watch is telling you. So, yeah, for me, I mean, just carving out time here and there, it sounds like a real luxury. But even if it's just 10 minutes with a mindful coffee, just to really check in with what is present and what you're feeling, I think these very small little practices are just so needed in this day and age. But most people will, I'm not even going to ask for a show of hands because probably mine will be one of them, but wake up in the morning, pick up phone. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, I've got 20 minutes. Maybe I'll just have a quick scroll on whatever I'm going to have a quick scroll on, right? And, we're getting all the wrong things in our body at the wrong time and the blue light and all of it. So, yeah, it's just for me really trying to carve out time to start the day right at the very least.
But that's the thing, though. We think of toxicity as in food or
Mm,
maybe alcohol or drugs or sugar or chocolate. I don't want to put that there. But all those sort of things. But it's what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're feeling. And I love the fact what you're saying because it's about embodying, sort of embracing that relationship with ourselves. It's having that relationship with ourselves because I think we're so, we have to literally jump out of bed and we're on the go. We're running away from issues. We're sort of, it's that survival mode all the time. Whereas that with our immune system and our body, how it feels, it's not doing us any good. Where we need to take a few moments out each day, really, to have that time to really sort of
mm.
ourselves for sure. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Anybody else, sort of the audience that we have here, anybody else feeling like, wow, what happened last year in the snake energy? Have you feeling that there's been a lot of changes going on for you? Some of you looking at me. Yeah, some of you are. Yeah, okay. And do you feel that you're feeling it in your body as well? Does your body feel, some of you, does it feel sluggish and tired and whatever's going on right now? Yeah, okay. It makes a big difference, doesn't it? Yeah. We're having a lot of energy downloads right now. And I think that's really affecting the body. A lot of information. So a lot of people who are listening, I know a lot of people in the audience, you're light workers. A lot of you are light workers, and you're astral traveling in your dreams. We're talking about dreams that Helen was saying, and it's sort of sometimes you're not getting that total rest. So it's you've got to make that time for your body. Easier said than done. Okay. Any questions? That is so important, isn't it? The different parts of ourselves as well, like to honor it, and know, like, you're doing a lot of work like with the classes and that energy and that development stuff, but it does affect different parts of your system, not just the energy chakra systems. We're talking about all the other physical side as well, Helen, that energy moving through the body.
Yeah, and I also think when I mean, we know the sort of the stories around burnout that people have when you're so used to being in that, like, and I've been there and done it myself, that like go, 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 go energy. And then when you kind of stop, it's like the body's like, oh, what's going on here? And it's just a rewiring and a repatterning. So just keep doing what you're doing and just keep listening and but really listen truthfully, I think, because sometimes we can say, oh yeah, 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 I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. And actually we've kind of got it like over here somewhere, but it's like, have you got it here? And just keep coming back to that. It's
And I
beautiful.
think you've heard me before. I go, yeah, 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 Helen, I've got it, I've got it. I'm like, Helen, what's happened?
Well, in a minute now, she's going to register that she hasn't got it. She just keeps saying she's got it. Have
Yeah.
you embodied it?
And the thing is, sometimes you think that you've got it, and you do. You've got it on a certain level or layer.
Think that you've got it,
And
Mrs.
you think,
Bayford.
thank you. You think this, see, this is what you need in your life. You need a friend like this who holds you accountable. That's what we all need, okay? You think that you've got it, and then next thing you know, oh, I haven't really got it. I'm ill again, or I've got a cold, or my body's communicating with me. And I think the biggest thing here also is like, if you're a parent and you're always like you've got to run, is whether you're a fur baby parent, I don't care, that's the same thing, or a human baby. When you've got things going on around you, you're constantly rushing and others depend upon you. The cat needs feeding, the dog needs a walk, children needs this, your partner might need something else as well. But then you're the last person, you might put yourself on the back burner. And so when you do have that opportunity just to sit with yourself, sometimes you've got to honor it. It's really, really important. There's always going to be somebody after you for something, isn't there, Helen?
Always. Always.
Except for your friends.
Yeah. Get up early. Get up before the world. That's what I say.
Yeah, I was on the treadmill this morning. Who am I? Oh my God.
Don't get up and get on the treadmill. Get up and sit in peace with yourself.
Sat with the sun. I should have sat with the sun. I did watch the
Yeah.
sun coming up too. So, sometimes we can get caught up in the role that we think that we are, or the part that we're playing in our life. And sometimes, yes, it's comfortable to sort of be in that position. I know when I ripped my foot out of the socket, when I had the accident and I had the walking stick. So I was disabled. So I get said I am disabled, and I'd wake up saying I'm disabled. When I was diagnosed with my lung condition, I used to wake up going, "Oh, this is, I've got this condition, whatever." And you hold on to it. And I think sometimes we hold on to it for too long. And I didn't realize that. And yes, it is about us needing and wanting to feel in a safe environment, which I didn't feel I had at that time, to hold on to it until we feel safe enough to release it, to let go. So there is that with our physical bodies. And yes, I have read that book too, The Body Keeps Score. That was one of the first books I read so many years ago because I've just found it so interesting. And that's why, I will say this again and again, like with Helen, with her work that she does, it's about releasing it, listening to the body, being conscious of what we're holding on to, which is so, so important. Which sometimes it's easier to sort of know, can't handle it, can't deal with it, don't want to look at it. And this is about like holding a mirror almost to our soul self, sort of like, what's coming up for you. So yeah, I love that.
But I just also really want to say, Emma, like maybe another time, but I would just say just tune into that feeling wherever it is in your chest, but just try just tapping around it as well. Just for me, it just feels like there's, like you say, like there's just something there that needs to be released, and you don't necessarily need to know what that is. Maybe just hold the intention for it to move through and try a bit of tapping if that works.
It's not a time to be a bystander in your life and to watch things move around you. It's a time that we've got to step forward and carve out what we need right now. That's going to be really, really important as we move
Yeah.
forward. Because
Mm.
otherwise, our voice, we'll lose our voice. And through fear, we tend to hide behind things or run away from something. So, yeah, it definitely is that. And I can see that more in people where, especially a lot of clients coming to me at the moment and how they're feeling absolutely drained and things are happening to them. Because it's obviously when you've got emotional stuff going on and things that are going on in your life, it's going to affect your physical body. It's going to drain you. So it makes sense, and you're fighting against everything. There's a lot of energy whizzing around right now. So yeah, I totally agree with what you just said. Yeah. Well, this is the thing I think on the planet at the moment. We've got the energy, what's going on. I think it's the collective energy of everything, people's minds, what's emotionally going on in their heads, what they're fearful of. If you look at the world, how it's so polluted at the moment of our food chain, the air quality. You've got then all the information coming out on social media about everything that's going on right now. So it's almost as if we're having to recenter ourselves right now. And it does affect you, doesn't it, Helen? Emotionally, your body and everything.
It does, and I currently take I teach two restorative yoga classes a week, and really it's an excuse to get people into a space where they have absolute full permission to rest and be in rest and be with their breath and their body and whatever is present in that time. And to be honest with you, we don't do a lot, but everybody floats out afterwards. And they're just like, oh my God, that's just like amazing. And then actually just going on from that a little bit, but almost back to what Jill was saying as well. I'm really starting to see, I've been sort of teaching only for a few months actually, but what I'm really noticing is uh, giving people permission to like take larger exhales or make sounds as they release. And I mean, it could be just a British thing, I don't know. But honestly, people are so shy of being heard. And more than ever, this year is a year of us having to be heard and having to speak out. And on Friday, I suddenly got called to do a humming meditation with everybody. And I knew there were going to be people that were like, oh, I feel really uncomfortable doing that. And it's just a real big inhale. And as you exhale to the end of your exhale with a hum. And then you repeat. And it's really beautiful. It's like a sound bath for the whole body. You literally just come out buzzing afterwards or you buzz afterwards. And the feedback after was extraordinary, but it also came with oh, when I first heard that, oh, I was like really self-conscious and all of that. And this is so important for us to do these like little things that actually get us to express ourselves and to let things move through and let things release and to speak our fucking truth. Sorry, just gonna say it.
When the moon came out, I was in the garden howling, and Andrew said, "What are you doing?" I'm just howling at the moon. Why? Because it just feels right. That's all. And just left it as that. And he just has to get on with it. Bless him. So, Helen, what could they do you think could do as a daily practice that might help individuals while we're here? Because I know you're gonna take us into meditation in a moment, and then I'm gonna do the card readings and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering, what is it that you suggest that might be helpful for people listening to this right now?
Oh, so many things, so many things. I mean, for me, I would say just give yourself a mindful minimum of 10 minutes before the day starts. And even if that is just wake up, open your curtains, let the air in, let the light in, but just really give yourself that time consciously. And I'm going to do a little meditation in a minute anyway, and a little bit of a body scan and just to see what's present. And so yeah, it would be just checking in with yourself, really. And sometimes it really helps to place your hands on the body, whether they want to go on your heart or to like just bring some warmth into your hands and then place them where they want to land. It might be head, might be heart. It just really supports the connection, I think. But you're kind of just checking in. What do I need? How do I feel? What do I need? What does today offer me? Maybe set an intention for your day. But it just starts really with asking yourself how you're feeling. And I always say this to people, even as a people that want to journal that are like, oh, but I don't know, how do I journal? What do I write? And literally, I think if I'm not sure what to write in my journal, it's like, right now I feel, today I feel, it's like, what is here? What am I feeling? What's presenting? Yeah. So check in with yourself, people. And if you can do it throughout the day, brownie points.
Yeah, I love that.
Conscious connection with yourself because we're so connected to everything outside of ourselves. And it's just giving those, sometimes say to clients, just set yourself a little alarm that goes off. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, I mean, it's so long ago, I'm just going to sound like a dinosaur, but everybody went through the Fitbit
Oh, yeah.
bracelet, watch type, whatever the bloody hell it was called thing. And I remember getting one, I think it was a bright idea for my step count, and it frigging buzzed on the hour to tell me to move my ass. And every time it buzzed, it annoyed me. But what it did was made me realize that I wasn't consciously doing what I needed to be doing. And now I'm always like, if you need to get yourself into a bit of a routine or you want to get yourself into a routine of checking in, set an alarm to buzz every hour just to make sure you stop within that time and go, where am I? How am I? What do I need? How do I feel? Really simple,
I
but
love that. You've just reminded me something when I had depression after the accident, and I remember my doctor saying to me I couldn't move much, obviously, because there's so many limbs that were broken and stuff like that. And when I started moving around gently, she said set an alarm every half an hour to shift from the sofa maybe to another chair, or to move to the kitchen, or to do something else, or to read a book. So it was every
Mm,
half an hour that I had to look at the time and go, right, I've got to change something else. And it made a difference. It absolutely made a
mm,
difference because I wasn't spending 4 or 5 hours sitting there. I had to move my body because my bones needed, for me to move circulation and stuff so they could heal. It didn't matter how uncomfortable it was, I needed to do it. But it's right, it's about us being aware of what we need to do. And it's so easy. This is the thing when we go into our heads. I looked at something the other day, I was on Instagram and I was like, putting some stuff on my social media. And it'd been 2 hours. And I was like, how the hell? It's gone off into a void.
mm.
I lose 2 hours. But my body
Yeah.
was feeling it. And my body was saying, get off your bottom. You've got to walk now. And thankfully I did. But yeah, you're right. It's like setting those little
And
wake.
actually, I think just to point out as well that we have, all of us, I imagine, I know I'm definitely guilty of it as well, we believe that rest is often laying in front of the TV, and we're laying in front of the TV watching something, but we're not watching it, we're scrolling on something at the same time. That is so unrestful for our bodies, which is why these like restorative classes, get out and be in a class where your phone is elsewhere, is just so they're so important. But yeah,
And
it's
it,
not the best. And your body will, I find I start to feel sick after a while if I've been on my gadgets too much.
yes. Yes,
Like
a lot
literally.
recently. Quite a lot of people do as well. Headachy, feeling a bit sick.
Yeah.
Sort of like, oh, gotta, no, can't touch it, gotta put it down. No, yeah, I know. A lot of people are starting to feel that quite a lot now.
We need to listen to that more and more, I think.
We do. Thank you. So before Helen,
I mean, it's really a case of, I guess, tuning in with what's present at that time. I mean, I've been known to get up at 5 when I've woken up and I just ka-ching, I know that there's no going back to sleep. Other times I have moments myself where I'm awake at 3 and I know I'm not going to get up at 3 in the morning. It's dark, it's cold, and
mm,
I will meditate or listen to an audiobook or something just to get back to sleep. So yeah, it's really going to be what feels right for you. And of course, you could get up and do some practices at 4 or 5 in the morning and then take yourself back to bed if you wanted to. It's really what works for you.
when I get up if I wake up at 5, I'm like, yep, no, this is the time for me to write. I start writing. And
Mm.
it's the best time before the day starts and starts getting crowded or busy with everything else. Thank you, Lucy. I was going to say, so Helen, if we look at like the work that you do, and the clients that you have, so just wondering that those who are going to hear what you've been saying and our conversation today. So, with your clients, what have you found that you've been able to help them with, or what do clients normally come to you with that they need to be sort of helped in the work that you do with them? Because it's not just yoga that you do. I know that's I don't mean just. You do other work as well. So I'm just wondering, like, how, if someone was listening to this, what is it that possibly that you've helped before people move through?
It's all in the melting pot at this point, I think. Various. I usually have people. I often have people come to me that have sort of lost a little bit of sight of direction, of remembering who they are, where they fit in. I have quite a lot of people come to me with burnout, with stress, and we generally work again with what's present and resourcing techniques and things like that. So yeah, all sorts really. But mostly, yeah, people I guess really that have sort of just got a little bit lost on their journey or just want to, ground back into themselves almost, remember who they are.
I think especially like now, as we were saying
Mm.
earlier, like what's happening on the planet right now, to help us to feel more grounded, more aligned with ourselves. It's like knowing ourselves better or more of
Yes,
knowing what's going on for ourselves so that
yeah.
we don't then get sort of hijacked by all the emotions and fears and feelings that are going on in the world right now. So it's sort of, it's coming from all different directions right now, isn't it? Yeah, and I know like in the industry that I'm in, some people are fearful they're not spiritual enough or they're not doing their energy or they're a bit
Mm.
ungrounded or there's something going on with them and sometimes we need to sort of bring them back to themselves. And I know like you've done some work for me with other clients I've had that sort of send them to you about grounding and stuff like that, where they've lost their balance in the sense of being so far out there or worrying about things that different topics that are going on for them in their world. So the work that you do, I know that it's been quite useful for many people to sit with you and sort of go through that with you.
Well, and I've also, I mean, over the years, I've worked with quite a lot of people in high anxiety as well, and that's invariably again, it's returning back to the body because we're out there miles in front, and it's like, what's here now? What can we work with here now? So yeah, it's all beautiful, but and of course, all of it is welcome because we can't like bypass our way out of what's going on in the world as well. The collective rage is real and it needs to be there. But it's how we can carve out those moments to be able to release that when we need to and still be able to, come back to where we need to be as well.
That's very interesting. I love that. Okay, so if anybody was interested in, say, like the work that you do, I know that you're doing something special for us today, sort of a taster in the sense of, there's some sort of discount code that you're going to be putting up so that if anyone is interested, they've heard this and they'd like to have like a taster session with you to see how it would benefit them. There was a code. What was the code again?
Yeah, I mean, I'll pop it on the group after the call, but yeah, I've got a little introduction to somatics, really, sort of somatic coaching and all the sort of things that I do called Whispers of Your Body. And I'm offering 20% off for that at the moment for you guys. So yeah, if you want to explore and talk and resource and do all the things.
Oh, I love that. And I will put that out. That'll be on YouTube as well if anyone's interested. There will be a little snippet of this where we put out and people can see a little bit of this conversation. Love that. Thank you so much, Helen, for
All
coming
right,
to.
thank you for having me. Mhm. Thank you. Just settling yourself where you are, and if you're comfortable to do so, just gently closing down your eyes. Oh, I love that. Yawns already. And just as you settle here, just noticing whether there's any little movements or wiggles or anything that wants to come through that's going to allow you to settle even more. And just beginning to arrive here in this moment with your breath and your body, not trying to change anything or make anything wrong. And you might just expand your awareness around you, noticing any sounds around, in or outside the room. And that's okay. Maybe noticing the temperature or the texture of the air in the room as you settle here. Oh, and all yawns, exhales are welcome, just releasing what's here. And an invitation to invite your awareness towards your breath. Just noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest here. Maybe noticing the texture of the air on the inhale and how it feels as it leaves your nostrils just underneath the warmth. Just gently breathing naturally for you in this moment. And if your mind is busy, that's okay. You can just ask it to step back for a few moments whilst you're here with your breath and your body. Maybe noticing the surface that supports you. Feeling your feet grounded on the earth beneath you. Points of contact of your body on the surface that supports you. And there's a gentle invitation to begin to deepen your breath here. So you might invite it down to your diaphragm, the soft space just below your ribs. We're not looking to force it or to strain, just inviting it down, deeper down into your body. And you might invite a gentle count of 4 as you breathe deeper in for 4. And then breathing out for 4. Just you with your body. Your body breathing you. And if it's supportive, you could place your hands on the lower parts of your ribs, just to notice how they inflate as you inhale and gently deflate on the exhale. Just allowing your breath to be the anchor back to your body, to what's present here. And you might just gently release the conscious control of your breath and allow it to return to its natural state as you bring your awareness to the top of your head, just noticing what's here today. Maybe there's an energy, maybe there's a sensation. And just trickling your awareness down to your eyes. You might bring your attention to the small muscles surrounding your eyes. Can you release those muscles and relax your eyes a little bit more? And dropping your awareness down to your jaw. Relaxing your jaw here. As your awareness travels down to your shoulders, maybe around to the backs of your shoulder blades. Maybe gently drawing your breath here, or just landing your awareness and your attention between your shoulder blades. And maybe as your awareness lands here, there's just a little bit more spaciousness that appears. And breathing down into your torso. Noticing how your back body is feeling, your front body, the midline of your body. And just allowing your awareness to land at your heart. Maybe your heart has a color today. Maybe there's a sensation that catches your awareness. Just a moment breathing maybe a little deeper into your heart space. And gently taking your attention down now, further down into your hips and your pelvis. Just noticing the weight of your hips and your pelvis as you reside here. allowing them to be, and dropping your awareness down your legs, all the way down your legs into your feet. Your feet grounded perhaps on Mother Earth. Your body resting here. And the invitation is to travel to somewhere within your body that maybe holds something for you. Maybe there's somewhere that wants a little bit of your attention or your energy. If you could go there now. Maybe there's a color or a sensation. Maybe there's a message or a word or a sentence. Just you in this moment with your body and your breath. Being with what is. Not making anything wrong. In communication with your body and all of its wisdom. Your body breathing you. And just asking your subconscious mind to gently hold on to any wisdom your body is imparting, so that as we bring our conscious awareness back to our breath, inviting maybe a slightly deeper inhale in and a larger exhale, maybe out through the mouth as a sigh or a yawn, something else. Maybe taking another breath in and a big release or a yawn. And then maybe gently beginning to wiggle the toes or your fingers and noticing if there are any little gentle wiggles that just want to come through, anything that wants to be released. And whether there's any message that you want to note or remember that your body has offered to you. And then on your next in-breath, you might just gently flutter your eyes open. You might rub the palms of your hands together and just intuitively place them on your body, somewhere that feels good for you. Just inviting another deep breath here. Yeah, beautiful, guys.